Can you build muscle and lose weight at the same time? We're going to talk about that today. What's up, y'all? It's Julian, aka Just Julian H. Don't forget the H. We're back to our fitness myths exposed series. Been a little while since we visited a hot topic, and this one is one I get pretty excited about because it's one, man, where if you ask some old school people in the fitness industry, you will hear such an adamant response one way or the other. People are very dogmatic, very divided on this topic. And this is one, man, we could have started out with this one. This is one, like I said, that I've personally had a lot of experience with, helped a lot of people to do one or the other of these things. And for this one, we're switching up the format a little bit because I'm going to give you all something that's right from some research studies, something I haven't done so far, but we're going to take a little bit of a different approach to this video. Let me know if you guys like this style where I give you guys more like the scientific, nerdy type of jargon. Of course, I'm going to break it down for you as always because my goal is always to keep it simple. I'm not one of those people that's going to try to confuse you guys, make myself sound super smart, but I want to break things down layman terms for you. So let me know if you like this format. As always, leave a like if you get value from this video and comment what topics you want to hear me talk about to you and have you break it down for you guys to determine, are these things we hear in the fitness and health industry true or are they cap, to be quite frank. So let's get right into it. And by the way, you guys, as a side note, this is coming straight from a very credible source. So if you guys know what NSAM is, the National Academy of Sports Medicine. So right now, like present day, I'm actually going through a nutrition certification with them. I've gotten one years ago with another company, gotten a sports nutrition certification and gotten other ones as well. NASM is one of like the highest, most reputable names in the health and wellness space. So very credible information. And this is like right from one of the chapters in the certification I'm getting called Myths and Hot Topics, which fits right into what we're talking about. So I thought this would be something good to bring to you all. But let's get right into it. So literally, I'm going to read, this for you guys. Is it possible to build muscle and lose fat simultaneously? For years, most experts and the associated scientific weight loss literature advise that weight loss inevitably would lead to both fat and muscle loss, with most of the loss coming from lean tissue. So what they're saying is, for years that typically that was conventional wisdom, that if you lose weight, you're going to lose both muscle and fat, but you're mostly going to lose muscle. On the surface, this makes sense. Increasing lean body mass requires a positive energy balance. So that means you have to take in more calories than you're losing in order to gain muscle. Whereas a negative energy balance is needed to decrease body weight. So basically, if you're wanting to lose weight, typically you have to burn more calories during the day than you're taking in, which is it's pretty simple. The idea is that when a person is in an energy deficit, a calorie deficit, it makes it nearly impossible to simultaneously increase lean body mass. So traditional wisdom is that if you're, burning more calories during the day, you can't simultaneously put on any sort of mass because you're burning more throughout the day. So let's continue. However, more recently, some data has been published challenging that long held belief. In fact, losing body fat and gaining muscle simultaneously is possible with the right diet and training program. Pretty much what I tell people, and I've been telling people for years. What you eat and what you do in the kitchen with your nutrition, that controls what you're going to do with your body fat, with your gaining or losing weight. When it comes to actually putting on muscle, obviously you have to take in the right stuff, which we're going to talk about in a second. But what you're doing with your exercises and your workouts kind of dictates that. So let's keep going. A commonality among the studies that support this notion is the quantity and quality of protein in the diet. And this is the major key. Several studies have now demonstrated that this seemingly impossible feat is truly possible. And they cite the studies from here, one from 2016 and one in 2013. So this is relatively new information that they're citing here. But like I said, I've been doing this 9 years now almost and have a lot of firsthand experience helping clients to do one, both, or one or the other, or both of these things. sometimes at the same time, sometimes not. Myself, I've gone through different journeys as well, gotten different results with my progress. So it's good to hear this is like the science is finally catching up to the real world and some of the anecdotal experience that I can personally attest to. All right, let's go with a few more lines. One study specifically examined 3 different protein intake levels during a calorie controlled weight loss study. So this means they had 3 different cases where different amounts of protein were consumed. The first one, it says the United States recommended daily allowance. So that means what's like considered a standard recommendation in our country, in the US. So 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So without getting too deep in what that number is, that's like the standard. Really, to me, it's kind of like the bare minimum. So the bare minimum that an average person, whether they are active or not, should take in 0.8 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. Guys, that's very low. So I tell my clients all the time, that's a very, very, very low amount. In fact, most of the challenges and the issues that the average person has, especially in our country now, especially in the world really, is that we don't consume enough protein. We don't consume enough protein. Lots of issues can happen, but one, especially when we're exercising and working out, we don't get the results we want. We don't burn fat at the rate we want, and we don't gain muscle at the rate that we want. So for one, that's kind of the first case scenario in this study. The second scenario is twice the US RDA. So the recommended daily allowance, they double that to 1.6 grams of protein a day. And that's like a moderate amount, but we'll see the results in a second. And then the last case was 3 times the RDA, the US recommended daily allowance. So that was basically a small, medium, and large amount of protein if we were to portion it out throughout the day per meal. So it says researchers provided all meals and supervised all exercise routines among the subjects during the study. Those subjects who ate double the RDA of protein, 1.6 grams, so that medium amount per kilo, and exercise were able to lose fat while preserving lean tissue. So basically, yes, in fact, they were able to get lean and also maintain their lean body mass. Interestingly, subjects who ate 2.4 grams of protein per kilo, so that's that large portion, did not experience more weight loss than the group who ate 1.6 grams of protein. So basically, going kind of really, really over our protein needs, going to that large amount compared to like the medium, which is way over the minimum. Basically, they didn't get necessarily better results. Regardless, both higher protein groups lost more weight than the group eating at the RDA level, the recommended daily allowance level of 0.8 grams. So basically speaking, if we're hitting our protein, our like true what we should be eating for protein, whether it's like, kind of that more moderate amount or the large amount, as long as we're getting way above that bare minimum 0.8 grams per protein per kilo, we're getting better results. So that small group, it says basically not only were they not, gaining muscle, but also they were not losing weight that fast. The lose-lose. We don't want to be there. We want to be in the win-win. Ideally, we want to be able to do both, right? So last few lines. The results of this study support others with similar findings. Increasing protein intake while in a negative energy balance can help preserve muscle. Basically speaking, being in a calorie deficit, burning more calories than we're taking in. So that's controlling, what our weight is doing. So if we want to lose body fat, we need to do that, what we do in the kitchen with our nutrition. But also keeping that protein intake relatively high, that's going to make sure our muscles are fed, that we're still preserving, or depending on your goal, gaining lean muscle while you're cutting weight. So basically, yes, answer to the question, it is possible. And the last couple lines, this is a highlight here that they have from NASM. Nutrition alone cannot build muscle, but nutrition is 80% of the game. But there's letting you know, exercise, like I've told you guys, is 20%, but it's an important 20%. And then they'll go on to say, while protein is necessary for the repair and building of muscle, without a proper resistance training program to stimulate growth, mindlessly adding protein itself is not an effective strategy for increasing lean mass. So that's kind of what I said in the beginning. your workouts, proper programming, proper training, proper work exercise is going to control what you're doing with your muscles. But at the same time, our nutrition, keeping our protein high, and manipulating our calories if we're wanting to lose body fat is the name of the game. So as always, guys, been a pleasure. This myth is officially busted. So yes, we can gain muscle, we can lose fat at the same time. Win-win. If you guys like this style of video where I give you guys more of the research, more of like studies and science, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what topics you want me to dissect or break down for you guys. Hopefully you got some value from this. Leave a like if you did. And other than that, if you guys want a program like this or from me that can help you personally reach your goals, links will be in the description. I'll see you guys next time. Stay strong, stay healthy.